everybody. Today we are going to be working on drawing the hands and feet, and I'm not flexible enough to get my foot so you can see it, but you can see my hands. We are going to just be drawing some really simple hands and feet to start with. I call it the block hand and the triangle foot. So really simple. We are going to be using our Crayola markers, and you can use some water and a paintbrush to add these shadows if you want to, but you definitely don't have to. You can make these as detailed as you would like. And then we're going to be drawing the block. This is the block hand, but it's a little bit more advanced for those of you that are ready for it. And then we'll draw the peace sign together, just because it's always a good thing to do. These are fun projects, and they kind of just, hopefully it will simplify drawing hands and feet for you a little bit. So let's get started. Grab your Crayola marker and your paper, and you can use watercolor paper or normal paper for this. And we're going to draw the rainbow hand. This is a really easy way to draw a hand. What you want to do is just start with a box. You're going to draw a rainbow over the top of it. Put a triangle on the side of it. And then you're going to put a line coming up out of that triangle and then a slide that kind of dips back down in. And these are our fingers, so we want to divide this in half. So now we only have 3 fingers, and now we need 5. So let's divide each one of these in half as well. And then you can add more rainbows in here for knuckles. So here's the first knuckle, and there's the second knuckle. And then you can go ahead and just use your pen or your marker to add in those fingertips. And if you look at your finger, your hand, you can curve the bottom. Look at your hand. Most of you, everyone's hands are a little bit different, but your pinky is probably the shortest one, right? It almost comes like, it's very, very short compared to the rest, but there's kind of like these angles in these joints that curve like a rainbow. And that is why we call it the rainbow hand. Now let's draw the triangle foot. So the triangle foot is really simple. You're just going to draw a triangle with a straight line, a line coming over like a big long L, and then a line connecting them. So we have this big long triangle. Then we're going to put a circle over here. That's your heel. And then this is like the ball of your foot. And this right here is a toe. Now something with toes is they're not like straight out like this. You know, and there's the toenail. They actually curve like that. So just like your fingers have this knuckle, your toes actually have a knuckle too. So they're not straight out. If you're doing an illustration, you can do whatever you want. And you can just kind of put little indications of some toes behind that toe and add a little curve here, a little curve up, add the top of the leg, and you have yourself a foot right there. So just with the simple shapes, we learned to draw right in the beginning. And you can use your paintbrush if you want to add some shadows to those. You can add some shading to just show. Sometimes when you're drawing like this, it's hard to see the parts of the hand or the feet. So you can just use your paintbrush to just pull that marker and add some shading if you want. You don't have to do any of that. But those are the simple hand and feet shapes. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more complicated hand. All right, on this one, we are going to draw a block hand that's a little bit more complicated than the rainbow hand. So we're just gonna start with a block. And you can make it kind of 3-dimensional if you wanted to, if you're at that stage. We're gonna draw some circles on the top, 4. That's where our fingers are going to come out of. So remember, we have our pinky is the smallest, and this middle finger is usually the tallest. So let's just start with, I'm gonna draw a hand that's like this. You could even, just look at your hand. That's a great thing to do when we're drawing like this. So we're going to draw this first one. It's kind of just like this tube, and then it has 3 parts. And then the next finger, the middle part comes up just a little bit. This finger is not quite as tall, and then we have our pinky, which is just this tiny little thing here. And then off the side, we're going to draw that triangle thing coming off again, but we're going to add more parts to it and kind of curve it. Some people like drawing hands like this because it helps them kind of, if it's coming towards you, you can use this box idea to get the perspective right. That might be a little bit advanced if you are 5 years old, but I know some 5-year-olds that could totally handle that. You can add some shading if you want to this. but you don't have to. And now I want to draw a realistic looking hand with you. So grab your next sheet of paper. This is why I wanted to do this on printer paper, because we're using so many of them. And let's actually draw the hand doing something like, maybe, I know some of my neighbors and my son, he thought it would be really cool to draw a hand doing, let's draw a hand doing the peace sign. So let's just move my hand so you can see it. You can look at your own hand or you can draw my hand. It's totally up to you. But what we can see first, we have like the box shape for our hand, right? And then our thumb, instead of coming out to the side, it's coming over the top of this shape. So just ignore all the fingers and just look at the palm of your hand and pretend there aren't any fingers there, except for our thumb now. It comes up and over, halfway through, about. And then we have these fingers over here. So there's 3 fingers. We know there's one up, 2 fingers doing the peace sign, hello. So we have 2 fingers over here, but we can't really see where they're coming up. We just see the front of them. So we can see 2 parts. So we see one piece here and then a pinky and a knuckle. And then this knuckle's coming up and then a finger's coming down. And then we can see these 2 fingers up here. And I'm just drawing the 3 parts to get the peace sign. And now I'm going to curve that box, make it a little bit more realistic. These fingers are a little long. They probably should have ended about right there. But that's okay. We're emphasizing them. You could add the fingernails on there if you want. Go ahead and grab your paintbrush and add some shading. You probably didn't make your fingers as long as I did, right? In drawing, we can exaggerate things. So that's what I did. So pretty simple way to do it, but I like illustrating and drawing the figure with these markers because it's so easy to add the shadows and shading and bring it all together. All right, how did it go? Did you like did that help you learn how to draw hands and feet a little bit easier? I hope that it did. Now that you've learned some techniques for drawing them, what I want you to do is to draw 4 hands doing different things and then 4 feet, maybe pointing their toes, pointing your toes. Feet are nice because you can see them easily. And hands are nice too because most of us have 2 of them so we can draw one of them. So, so go ahead and work on those projects. I would love to see them and enjoy your practices. I hope that you have a wonderful day today.